Hi guys, this is Pam from the Woolly Dragon again. So I just realized that I never gave an update from when I did my little back deck porch tomatoes. So I thought I would quickly share with you what I'm have been doing, what I should have been doing, and hopefully you can hear me with this wind blowing. But let's get into it. Okay, so here are my 3 little tomatoes. They're not doing as well as I'd like. We got some older leaves, they're getting crunchy, might have a little bit of disease on them. And you see the little spots here, you can usually think, yeah, I may have a little disease. So I need to go in here and trim off the dead and dying leaves. I need to remove fruit that's not looking so good. I think I've got a little blossom end rot here, but the guys up here seem to be doing a little bit better. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip off everything that's not looking so great and see if I can get a little bit more. So we've got the things. So I don't think I showed you all my little tomato rack. So here's my little self-made. I actually got it square enough that it doesn't rock or anything, but you can see I've kind of attached it to the deck railing and stuff like that, just in case the wind comes up. But it's just enough that I can hang little fabric. This is some old yarn that's a little too rough to really be used for anything that I would want to wear. So I'm getting some use out of it and just using this to train these tomato plants up it so they don't sprawl over the place. For the most part, we're doing okay. I've got, looks like there's an escapee right there that I didn't get off. Although I was pretty good about getting up at least this high. No escaping. But evidently a few got out of my searching eyes. So they're getting my height at least, not the greenest and healthiest. So here's what I think I did or didn't do. So I was relying too much on these planters with the little water reservoir. So the month of August has been one of the wettest ones I've had here in East Tennessee in quite a while. Our average rainfall for the month of August is usually about 4.25 inches. And as of, this is the 1st of September. So for the entire month of August this year, I got well over 10 inches of rain. And I guess as a matter of mathematics, it worked out well because, we try and do, we hope for an inch of rain per week to keep everything watered. And by that token, that means well over 2 inches per week for rain. But it wasn't every day or every other day. It was it would rain, it rained 4 inches. I think it was the beginning of August. And then nothing. And then we get 2 inches of rain. And then maybe we get 1/4 of an inch of rain. And so I don't think there was consistent enough watering. And I wasn't really paying attention to whether or not the little water reservoir was full or not. So as you can see, these guys, there's no water in that one, none in that one. So I have to remember to come in here and water. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through here and cut back everything that I feel I need to. If there's any of the tomatoes that I can actually use, I'll take them inside for a batch of tomato sauce if there's enough from other plantings. I think my other problem is the variety that I chose. So this is San Marzano tomatoes. You can tell by the they look like little fat sausages. And so I think San Marzano does not lend itself well to containment. I did also try growing them out in the raised beds. They didn't do so great there either. So these guys are actually looking very good. Now, part of that could be because these are like a month behind the ones that are out in the raised bed garden, or it could just be that they're not in soil. Maybe they don't have as much, I don't know. But I have a feeling that San Marzano is in a variety that does well in my area. Look at that blue sky. Sorry. Just jazzed about seeing clear blue skies these days. I'm so used to seeing muggy, hazy skies. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and cut these guys back. Hello, little bird. Cut these guys back, cut all the diseased and dying stuff back, and then I'll come back and show you what I got. Okay, so here we are, cleaned up. So here's my pile of tomato leaf and other things. There's some tomatoes in there that have the blossom end rot. Just didn't look good or were past their prime. And some suckers, removed as many suckers as I can. I have one sucker that I didn't remove, which is this one right here, because it's got a bunch of tomatoes on. So what I went ahead and did is I just kind of topped it right there so it doesn't hopefully get much taller. Now these guys, I'm okay with them climbing up and they can come and spill over the top of the rack here. I may have to alternate, have two going towards the front. Where's my finger? So have the two on the ends, if they make it that far, go up and over the front part, and then this one in the middle go up and over the back part, just kind of balance it out a little bit. Because, I mean, I have it anchored here in a few spots, but you never know. These things can get heavy sometimes. So yeah, so just cleaned up, got some of the underbelly here, leaves and everything removed. Generally on tomatoes, you can at least, sorry about that, cucumbers for lunch, yay. Generally with indeterminate tomatoes, you can, especially to allow for more airflow going underneath, which helps alleviate some of the diseases, splash up and things like that. But it'll get some more air to it, maybe hold off the ultimate disease before fall sets in. Oh, look. That's my yellow. And I knew as soon as I started talking, I'll put it in the imprinting. But blooming away, bunch of stuff blooming down. There's my twilight zone, almost truly purple, at least neon purple rose down there. And then we got all this mess in here. There's zinnias and dahlias and 4 o'clocks and calendula and balsam. There's so much stuff in there, but as you can see, I didn't get to my pathways. Let's see, pathway in there down the center, it's growing up in grass, and then pathway in between the far back away from the house and the middle bed here, that my plan was to put down cardboard and then put down wood chips, but that hasn't happened, so we'll try and do that for this winter. Yeah, right. So back to tomatoes. So I'll just kind of keep an eye on these guys, give them a good water. I think just to be on the safe side, I'm not going to fertilize them today. I'll let them drink in water for a couple days, and then I'll give them a nice zod of some organic liquid fertilizer. But you know, the curling leaves, they kind of sort of irk me, but it's also a sign of the water too, so we'll see if they uncurl. Not seeing a whole heck of a lot of new blossoms. These guys don't look too hot, so I may just go ahead and prune those off. See, these guys, they didn't set any fruit either. That comes with really, really hot weather. And truthfully, up until about 2 or 3 days ago, it was pretty hot around here. Not as hot as it usually gets, but hotter than tomatoes really like. So that's what I'm gonna do. Real quick, show you some of the other plants I had. This is one of those rosemary cuttings that I did last winter that I've got up here that is growing quite well. And what I'll do with this guy, she's in a small little pot right now, but for her size, it's good. And then I've got some little pea gravel on top, just kind of, so she doesn't have to get watered as much. She doesn't, you know, rosemaries don't like a lot of water. Here's my bay tree, which has definitely grown quite a bit. My thymes and my sage doing quite well. So the sage is getting a little long in the tooth, so I'll have to come by here and pick some off. And here's my citrus seedling. It's growing. Got a little bit of spot on this leaf. I'll come in here and take that off. And then here's my final planting for the back deck this year. This is, I've got some basil in here and some coriander, cilantro. Cilantro while it's green, and coriander when it has seeds. And doing quite well. More blue sky. Ooh, no clouds. Earth blue sky. All right. Well, I'll end on that note. I think this is a relatively short video for a change. Hope you all enjoyed it. And if you see or remember anything, if you may have seen something and you want to get an update on that, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for coming to my channel. I hope you subscribe and get to watch the weirdo in East Tennessee bumble her way through life. But, oh yeah, and let's do the hops too. Oh, the hops. Oh, the little hoppies. So I'm gonna collect those here in the next couple of weeks, as many as I can. So, if you're wanting to grow hops, or if you think you want to grow hops, go ahead and grow hops. You really can. But you also have to, when you read, you know, how to or watch videos on the subject of how to grow hops, take them with a grain of salt. So, back when I was first investigating how to do hops, I was told, okay, so it's going to start growing in the spring. You're going to start seeing tiny little tendrils, almost like little pieces of asparagus coming up through the dirt. And then before you know it, it's going to be 15 feet tall. That part they got right. Allegedly, at the summer solstice, June 21st, I know this because it's my parents' anniversary, it stops growing. And then after that, it starts setting the little hop vines, those things. But as you can see, I've got these guys that are fairly grown. This thing continues to grow. It's got little tendrils. And then it's got these guys who have been on here longer that are now getting a little long in the tooth. So that's all over the place. So don't depend on certain time frames and all that kind of stuff. When you see them and you want some, pick them, get them dry. Use your hops. All right, that's all, y'all. Bye.